polysaccharidosis 4A, or more commonly known as MPS. I was diagnosed at about 2.5 years old, and I've had 8 surgeries since I was 4, all but one done by Dr. William McKenzie, the Alfred I. DuPont Children's Hospital in Delaware. I'm very happy to say that my last surgery was 3 years ago as of February, and I am very honored to have been chosen to be speaking with you all today. So before I begin my real speech, I want to say that to speak in Walt Disney World is kind of a dream come true for me. As a child with surgery every couple of years, I turned to Disney for entertainment. From Cinderella helping me to tolerate my standard during my first surgery, Dory telling me to just keep swimming as I was trying to learn to walk again multiple times. Disney Company has always helped me to keep my spirits high, and even now it's helping me still. Pumbaa, Timon, and Elsa are helping me get through my senior year of high school. So getting to speak here is kind of bringing everything full circle for me. I personally never even knew I had this dream, but I'm so happy to be here, and I want to thank the National MPS Society for making this dream come true. My parents decided that as long as I was alive when I was first diagnosed, that they would help me to live life to the fullest. When I was first diagnosed, this was not an easy task. Everything they read about Marky in the early days of the internet was frightening. Sometimes they felt like doctor's appointments were giving them more things to worry about. My first surgery happened when I was 4. I had a neck fusion. This was a very risky procedure that can result in complete paralysis from the waist down. Actually, due to surgical complications, my doctors thought that I'd be paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of my life. I stayed in the hospital for about a month. However, I did walk out of the hospital eventually. And when I walked out of the hospital to sit with my walker, my mom cried. But this was an early sign that hope existed. If there's one point I want to make clear today, it is that no matter difficulty, no dark time, no hospital stay or surgery has to mean things that are hopeless. I want to make it perfectly clear that hope exists. When I was growing up, so many people thought that MPS was a fatal terminal illness. But today, people know it's not. People know how to treat the disease, and expanding and rapidly improving medical community is rallied with people behind it. Hope does exist. As Stephen Coles, the screenplay writer J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, spoke to the character of Albus Dumbledore, happiness can be found in the darkest of time if one only remembers to turn on the light. At age 6, my parents discovered that I was having difficulty walking. I had a knee straightening surgery in which I had to use external fixators, or pins that were inserted into my legs. Although the surgery improved my ability to walk, during this time, walking could be difficult. A physical therapist came to help me recover. With her help and my hard work and determination, I began to walk again. Hope does exist. Many years later, when I was 11 years old, I was scheduled for surgery on September 30th, 2008. For this surgery, Dr. McKenzie fused vertebrae in my neck below the original fusion. From when I was 4, I was in a halo until January 3rd, 2009. Through the whole experience, my family was right beside me every step of the way. My family has always been right beside me, supporting me through everything, and they mean the world to me. My grandma is very supportive and caring. My dad can make me laugh every day. My mother is caring and can translate difficult medical terminology into words that I can understand. My brother Tommy and I play like the best of siblings, but he is one of the most caring individuals I've ever met. He can make me laugh with virtually a snap, even when I'm feeling all the way down. My sister, Amanda, is one of my best friends. We shared a room when we were growing up. We're so close, in fact, that she may be responsible for a quick recovery from one of my surgeries. My knee had been overcorrecting himself for a long time, and I needed to be able to walk before going home from surgery. My dad hoped that I would be able to go home in one night. So he pulled up a picture of my sister on his cell phone and told me that if I really wanted to be with Amanda, I would need to walk to her. As I would walk, I would move closer and closer to the picture. Then my dad would pull the photo away and make me walk even farther. I worked so hard to reach her, and that night I returned home to my sister and my house. For the past 3 years, I've been on a drug called Vimizim. I say 3 years, but my journey with Vimizim began long ago when I was first diagnosed. My geneticist, Dr. Charles Scott, formerly of Alfred I. DuPont Children's Hospital in Lincoln, Delaware, told my parents that I would not live to be 30. But he also mentioned that there was a chance for me to live longer. He spoke of an enzyme replacement therapy that existed only in theory. He said this had the potential to expand and improve my life, but not to count on it actually being produced in my lifetime. 10 years later, I became involved in a natural history study in Chicago, from what we only knew then as the elusive drug company. My mom and I flew to Chicago once a year for the next 2 years so I could be a part of the natural history study. When the study was happening, my mom and I would fly to stay about a week in Chicago. During that week, I would go to Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago. I would get an echocardiogram and an EKG. I remember laying so still that the EKG would take about 2 seconds. Then I would need to do a 6-minute walk test. They would set up a hallway with me with tape far apart and a chair in the middle of the hallway. When I would do the 6-minute walk test, I would get so tired and out of breath. They would also have me do stairs for about 3 minutes. I would climb about 5 flights of stairs and I got very, very winded. I had to do a pulmonary function test and they would hold my nose and I would have to tightly close my lips around the tube and breathe. Breathing was very hard for me back then. I wouldn't be able to blow as long as the therapist wanted me to. My least favorite part, we did last, blood work. I would hate it so much that I would scream and cry and have to sit on my mother's lap to stay still. We repeated this one other time in Chicago. When I was 14, we heard that the drug company BioMarin was moving forward with clinical trials for a drug only known as BMN 110. I was initially signed up to be a part of the study in Washington, D.C. My mom and I were going to travel to Washington once a week in order for me to receive the enzyme. And a week before I scheduled to begin the trial, we took a call from Dr. Michael Bober of our Adjutant Children's Hospital in Wilmington, Delaware. He was looking for only one patient for the trial there, and he thought I should be the patient. Very quickly, my parents and I switched from being one of the many patients in Washington, D.C. to being the one and only patient on BMN 110 at DuPont in Delaware. In January 2012, my parents and I scheduled the surgery for the placement of a medical. One day before I received the report, I signed paperwork, and I was officially signed up for one of the biggest and best experiences I've ever had. And on February 29, 2012, I was the last person in the clinical trial. The clinical trial was a huge commitment, but it was well worth it. I signed up to miss 1 day of school a week while the drug was in testing phase. I also signed up to obtain an IV once a week. And as the needle fell, my parents and I made a decision of port place. Instead of getting between 2 and 10 needle floats a week, the port required only 1 needle float a week. My nurses put on numbing cream, and I don't feel anything when they put the needle in. I was in the clinical trial for 2 years. My nurses were amazing and supportive every step of the way. I had a tutor come weekly and help me get through high school. Every 3 months, we would have to do the same thing we did in Chicago. Slowly but surely, I improved. When I would do the walk, I did not improve much, but my breathing would slow down. My stair test got progressively better. At first, I got 1 more stair over 5 flights. Slowly, everything started improving, and my blood work was a lot less traumatic after I got the port. After being part of the trial for 3 years, I got a lot further in my 6-minute walk test. My breathing got back on track. I climbed about 6 stories in 3 minutes without getting out of breath. My heart issues on my echocardiogram went from being very bad to being only a borderline an issue. My parents and I would have to take a week off of work, and we would have to sacrifice for vacation, but it was well worth it. To help others going through the same thing I did, helping others had brought me more confidence than I had ever had. My newfound confidence soon channeled directly into my experiences with BMN 110. In September 2013, I was asked to present to the FDA by the National MPS Society in order to gain commercial approval for the drug. I knew I needed help to both write my speech and overcome my paralyzing fear of public speaking. On November 19, 2013, I was nervous and scared. And shakingly, I presented my speech, with my family behind me, holding me up. As I spoke, tears started forming in people's eyes. As I told my life story, my struggle with mortality, my success in the clinical trial. When I finished my speech, I knew I had written a beautiful speech that would eventually get approval from the FDA. And on February 14th, 2014, as I was sitting on an airplane with my dad, I opened my phone to see that the FDA had approved BMN 110, now called Vimizim. Since I've been receiving Vimizim, my life has improved vastly. My breathing has improved over 200%, my energy levels are up, and I'm always happy now. I have met many friends, and I have come so far in the past 3 years, and I'm only going to go farther. Thank you.